my goodness. Hello, everybody. Welcome to this week's craziness. I think we should record that next time for
I'm down
for everyone.
I'm all for it, right? You and me.
Yeah. The cast were improvising their own music because they don't get to hear the opening music, which was so lovingly written for us by Darren Curtis, DarrenCurtisMusic.com. If you want to find more music, he's super great. He writes music for all my shows. I love him. So there we are. Thanks to that. And while we're on the subject of thanking people, big thank you to World Anvil from worldanvil.com, who are hosting us in terms of our world events and character sheets and all those colourful, wonderful maps. And of course, speaking of maps, thank you to Wonderdraft from Wonderdraft.com for making the world map or helping me make the world map, and to DungeonFog.com for making all of the battle maps. And another big thank you to Portrait Workshop for creating the portrait characters of all of our characters, as you can see below the players there, as well as all of the monster tokens that we use on the battle map. So lots of people involved in trying to make this as visually interesting as possible. And yet, I have to say that the commentary that you guys posted up last week was absolutely fantastic. And none of it had anything to do with all of the beauty. It only had to do with talking about how wonderful the players were. And I completely agree with you. They are the ones who make this whole show happen. So big thank you to you guys, to Mitch, Cai, Michael, and Sammy. Thank you guys for playing in the game. And I hope you're all ready for today's events. We shall see what happens now that you have brief recap encounter. You know what? I'm not going to do. I'm not going to do the introduction. I'm going to see Dice of Destiny is going to tell us. Dice supplied by EasyRollerDice.com.
Dice.com. Is that actually a thing?
Easy Roller Dice are amazing. They have all my dice. They sponsor all my dice. They're really cool.
Wow. Don't tell me this. I'm a dice hoarder.
Don't do it.
I have too many.
I should send you the gemstone dice that they made. They're made out of real gemstones. They're amazing. Anyway,
Never mind.
Not to belabor the point, there's a person in my city, in my state, that makes corgi themed dice.
No,
They have a little corgi.
why would you do that?
Oh my god!
Why did you unleash
They're
this
not in
evil
full
upon
production
me?
yet. They're working on it. Should be later this year. They'll come out.
Will they make my
But-
dog too?
10 points lost from
Please make
Gryffindor.
me
Don't
tinky
know.
dice.
I can't even right now.
all right. Well, there you go.
I've ruined the game before it started.
Yeah. Look at you there.
Yeah.
Anyway,
She's going to cry.
let's move swiftly along. I rolled a 4 on that dice, which means that number 4 gets to tell us what happened last week. Number 4 is Sidon the assassin chef. Ghoul.
Oh, I was really hoping it was me.
I was worried it was good too.
Yes, no, I am.
Michael,
Yes,
take it
I am
away.
Sidon. Yeah. So first of all, I want to just take a brief commentary to say I remember when Guy used to roll for other people to recap his games. That was it's definitely a nostalgic thing from Guy's shows, and I'm so glad that I'm the first one since it's been reintroduced.
You are.
Last week, when we found our intrepid adventurers, they were tasked with going to a small and abandoned village in the outskirts of the foreign countryside. Apparently, a dragon had attacked the townsfolk, leaving most nothing but cinders and destruction. When arrived, they found that there were a few fresh corpses lying there amongst the ruins, and someone had indeed staged this entire event. Not too far away, a individual, shall we say, vulturing over the remains, pointed out there were some peculiarities that were also investigated by none other than Iggy, Iris, and Ray, while Sidron made a new friend. His friend's name was Ted. Along with their new companion, Ted, the eyeless zombie, they descended down into what they thought was the dragon's lair, only to have Iris shot multiple times by the dark elves lurking in the depths below. An epic battle ensued. Ray attempted to talk to them. Ray got shot. Iris exploded them with a lightning bolt. And after finding the tired, worn, tortured, and weary travelers, they managed to rescue them from the horrifying hole of destruction. Iggy, however, on his own exploration, found a magical sealed runic room where a giant pit was being protected by a barrier of some kind, along with a ballista, because the spellcaster also cast redundancy on the portal and decided to shoot a big arrow at whoever came out of it. Tiring of the investigation, Sidron then aimed the ballista at the roof, collapsing it from whence the drow had come. Now, with the elves trapped behind a mountain of rock, the seal also trapped behind a mountain of rock, and having narrowly escaped a landslide of a mountain of rocks, the group found themselves confronted by their employer and fellow member of the Tamsarai, a man by the name of Lord Knight Commander Soen Conero, who had informed them that they had a new task, a new mission, in fact, that they had to go and seek out and find any signs of Banelord activity somewhere, which I can't remember where we were heading.
Breach.
I want to say we were heading to the breach.
Breach.
That is indeed
Breach?
where you're heading. Wow.
Yes.
That was an impressive
That was
recap. I have
so
to
good.
say.
It was
I mean,
a really
that
good
voice,
one.
that was great.
Thank you, thank
there
you.
we go. I thought you
You
written
know what
it
I
down.
thought of? How useless a ballista would be against something so powerful it had to be sealed so many times. It's just like I just say like dink.
Yeah.
It does raise some interesting questions, doesn't
This
it?
will totally work. I believe in it,
Yes.
guys.
I am Gorblack, destroyer of worlds. Thwack. A ballista, my only weakness.
Oh.
You would be surprised. You would be surprised.
This is
It's true.
Achilles'
I mean,
heel.
technically there was the black arrow. So I mean,
Yeah, that's true. That's true. It's
Yeah,
happened
very
multiple
true.
times. Multiple times. So yes, that is exactly
the
where you
wizards
find
my
yourselves. You are in the small region just outside of Mineton. I will bring up the map for you. You are just outside this area known as Mineton. Conero will dispatch someone to the town to make sure that the villagers are watered, fed, and looked after, and that a mining operation begins to unearth the sealed away pit, so that it is no longer sealed away. And that will begin as you are to make your way towards the breach, because there had been rumors of misdeeds going on within its walls. What exactly he was not too specific about, just some odd things being reported. That is where we pick up, and that is where you are. What are you fellows doing?
Are we in the breach right now, or are we traveling?
You're traveling towards the breach. I don't know if you wanted to go to Minetown first, or if you wanted to just head directly towards the breach, following the old roads.
Probably
Are
go to
we
Mineton
on foot
so
or
we
on
can get
horseback?
Those
And-
people to help them dig the giant hole.
What's that?
Were we heading nearabouts to Mineton to get the...
I thought we were gonna get some dwarves to
People
dig
to help
the
them.
hole.
That's Conero who's going to be doing that.
he's doing diggy hole.
Yeah.
Diggy hole.
Yeah,
That's
our task is to look at breach and make sure that there's no
Correct.
Banelords there.
Correct.
yeah.
As
Um,
secret
are we
agents.
on foot?
We go.
You, for sake of argument, yes, you are on foot, unless you have horses.
I have a stag.
I have a mule.
You are
Named
no longer on
Buckles.
foot. You are now on hoof.
All right. I will ride Ted.
Right.
Of course.
You ride.
Ted is giving me a piggyback.
You are riding your undead skeleton that you
I
raised.
thought Ted stayed back due to the cave-in.
Yeah.
To scare the
he was
drought.
destroyed.
Oh yeah, he did.
That's right. That's
Yeah, you
right.
sucked his soul out again.
Yeah.
All right. I have to find a new Ted.
Someday.
You're
New
gonna-
mission.
You're gonna wander through the burnt-out village whilst the villagers are
No.
standing around.
I want someone fresh. Don't worry. We'll find someone. I'm sure. I'll walk until I. It's like, hey, what's your name?
Okay.
Dicky.
I just wordlessly grab Sid by the collar and move him forward.
You look like a Ted to me.
Oh my goodness.
Okay.
You,
My name is Iris. Ted.
Ted.
Yeah, I mean, I have Buckles, who can the mule who can take a lot of our weight, so we can
Right.
supply him and then
Yeah.
move along to breach without any issues.
I'm hanging out on Nash.
And I have
Makes
I have
sense.
like
Colin.
35 rations. So
Right. Well, for what it's worth, I'd like to, as someone who is obviously minded for such things, do we have enough food for the journey all the way to breach, or do we need
Yeah.
to kind of?
No, I have like 35. It depends how long. I mean, judging on the distance and, average hoof travel
and what's the average? How long would it take us to get to breach?
You are estimating that it will take you approximately 4 days to get there.
Oh yeah, we have like plenty for 4 days. It depends if you eat like what 6 meals a day sit on. So like maybe it won't fit, but I think we'll be okay. We'll be just under for sure.
You just call me fat.
No, I just say you eat a lot. That doesn't mean the
I
same
have
thing.
3 meals a day, thank you very much. 6
Oh.
meals a day, I swear. By thunder. I'm going to march off in a huff.
Wow, that was a sore spot. I'm gonna write that down in my journal. Dear diary. I found a weakness today.
I also pull out a book. I start writing down stuff about Iggy.
Iggy stew.
3 eggs, cup of flour, some salt.
3
Right.
journal and 3 cookbook entries later, and your journey has been fairly unremarkable. As
I'm just
you
hanging out
have-
with Orient, mostly in the back.
Mostly it has entailed you wandering through fairly open fields that are not particularly cultivated, but they're not overgrown either. It's rather pleasant, as a matter of fact. And every now and again you traipse through a wood where you had the chance to watch deer frolicking amongst the trees. Managed to walk past a party of bears, didn't stay for drinks, and then eventually made your way back onto the main road that heads north towards the breach. Towards the afternoon of the 3rd day, you realize you have to start climbing higher and higher up in towards the Highfall Mountains. These majestic peaks are permanently blanketed in white snow and capped in ice, as they are exceptionally high. They also form the Great Barrier that keeps the northern lands away from the southern territories. And when you look up into their lofty peaks on a clear day, you can actually see great black roiling clouds of fire and ash just on the other side. It is, for all intents and purposes, a particularly dramatic mountain range. Peter Jackson has got the rights to film another movie there. The breach is about 3 miles away, but it is almost 3 miles vertically up as far as you are concerned. There is a very long road known as Winder's Way, which slowly zigzags its way up the side of several sheer cliff drops, making its way up towards the breach. The breach, of course, guards the only entrance from the Dark Lands into the Southern Lands, and as a result is strategically very well reinforced. A curiosity has been that in your journey here you have noticed no travellers upon the roads at all. Not a single solitary figure, not a wagon, not a convoy, not a deranged highwayman, absolutely nothing.
Sorry, Sid.
This is guy's
Not
attempt to
right.
make sure he doesn't get another follower.
Can I do an evaluate check? And like knowing the breach, do I know of their like supply and how they feed themselves? And wouldn't this be real weird that there's nothing coming up?
I think an evaluate check is an excellent idea. Yes, you should.
Wits?
Yes, evaluate wits, I think, is a good call.
Ooh. So I got 19.
No one on that Kismet die?
No, just to 2.
Oh,
I was worried. I saw a low number and I
Wow,
was scared.
That
Alright.
intonation on that question as well.
Yeah.
Can I have
live
it?
in
One
hope.
on the Kismet
It
die.
also, just for further notes, if I cast a spell and I have a 1 on the Kismet die, I set myself on fire. And it nearly kills me if I do that.
So don't do that.
Yeah, just letting you guys know.
Is that like a perk?
Yeah.
Okay.
Would you look at that? He
that
self-roasts.
Oh wow! In this party, that is perhaps not the best attribute to have. Yes, and so yes, you find yourselves wandering up this rather laborious slope, making your way towards the top of the mountain. You have to zigzag backwards and forwards, and from where you are, you started. You started down here and you've sort of come up the path. You're going to have to go round and along and up some stairs and around. It's a long journey that you're going to be going on, presumably, as you make your way forward. I need everybody if you please, to, whilst you are slowly wandering around, I need everyone to give me a notice check.
What did I get on my evaluate?
Oh, apologies. Yes. So you succeeded on your evaluate, as you rightly said. And the breach does not have any natural resources with which to survive. There are no forests nearby to provide firewood. Those were cut down centuries ago. There are no fields that grow in this particularly cold and barren northern reach, so all food and cooking fuel is brought in from the south. There are usually wagons aplenty, and as a matter of fact, you recall some ancient ditty which said the road to the breach, the road to the breach is so clogged up you could walk on wagons and never touch the road your feet could not reach, something like that. But yes, that is what your evaluate has given you. If there are no wagons, it means lots of people are starving, or maybe the breach has got massive food reserves, but that seems unlikely.
Yeah. I suspect they might have some just for a siege circumstance, but I don't think it would last long. I got a it's an insight, yeah.
Yes.
Notice.
Notice.
No, notice is actual skill, babe.
No, notice is
It's
wits. Wits.
Notice is swits. That's great. I got an 18.
Do I gain any bennies from having Orient kind of scout ahead?
If you want to spend a loyalty point, you can.
Happily.
Alrighty.
What does that get me?
Well, is it a follower action?
It is a follower action.
Then it should tell you what it does. He
You
said,
think I know that
No.
already? But
not knowing exactly what it does, but guessing.
I got a 17.
I'm
17.
gonna wing it.
All right. You send your beloved first up the icy slope.
Well, we're friends.
Hey,
Oh,
whoa, whoa, whoa.
I don't want to jump the gun like that, you know.
Wow.
She's here. She's listening, so shh.
okay then.
Iris has an 8, so I'm pretty sure I'm just bored from weaving around. I'm like, I could just fly this. I can just fly straight up. Why am I? I'm just bored.
A legitimate feeling, I'm sure.
I've got a 14.
14. Alrighty.
Not my strong suit.
Well, even with a 14, it sounds like there are frozen trees, bushes, and possibly shrubberies that every now and again gurgle or grumble or possibly even are suffering from a little flatulence. And there's occasional snowdrops from trees for no apparent reason. No wind disturbs the snow, but suddenly the next minute, a great big pile of snow sloughs from the boughs of the tree.
I have a focus on my perception for my my notice for my sense of smell.
Uh-huh.
Do I smell anything
Yes.
peculiar?
Yes, you do. It is the crisp cleanness that snow brings with it when it first falls. But underpinning that, every now and again, on a slight breeze which drifts around lazily looking for a nostril to inhale it, there is the scent of dung.
This is an ambush.
Hmm.
I'm just letting you guys know.
Like, okay, I know this is gonna sound gross, but like fresh dung or like frozen dung?
Relatively
'Cause I imagine
recent fecal matter, yes.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna grab Ray by the cloak and just give him a little tug,
Yeah.
and I'm gonna do the most awkward baseball sign, like that we're gonna die, like.
Back. Just one more thing on the fecal matter thing.
Yes.
I imagine that from the dung, primarily protein-based dung, as opposed to
yes.
plant.
Yes.
So glad we're
Absolutely.
focusing on this.
Absolutely.
It's
What's the
important. It's important.
consistency of this dung?
I mean, look. If I smell hay and straw and stuff like that, that means there's a big wild herbivore nearby. If I know that there's a predator nearby, we're probably being hunted. Sure, it's everything. It's everything. Senses important. I will say, it appears as though something might have us on the menu, boys and lady. Better keep our head on the swivel, eh?
I will fly straight up.
All right.
Ladies, you forgot.
See what I can see.
You fly straight up.
Goodbye.
Thanks, guys. Bye.
I have
She
fun.
lives a life of joy.
All right. Let me
Watch out for eagles!
That's quite funny, actually. Okay, yes, you fly straight up, but you don't see anything other than this very icy. I'll show you what you see now. This very icy zip, zip, zip as we zoom. Oh, too far.
Carnivorous ants.
Could
You
be.
see the end of the world.
Yes, you literally see the edge of the world.
I've seen the end.
We're right.
The world is flat.
The world
Even the
is flat,
children.
apparently.
I knew it.
But yes, that is pretty much what you're seeing. Just this road winding its way slowly up the side of the mountain, and your little companions all the way down there, looking just like little tokens on a map. That is what
Well,
you
I
see.
don't see anything out of the norm, but they could be
What?
underground.
What?
You're really high up there, aren't you?
You're all gonna die! No.
Oh no! Ray, save me!
No.
I float back down. Don't see anything out of the ordinary.
You
Also, I'm already dead for the record.
But you can die again, so undead.
Yeah, but the first time didn't take, so I mean, really.
We should keep moving.
Did you want to nitpick this right now, or should we try to avoid this?
Hey, you're in the lead, big man. Why don't you march
You-
on?
I don't know how to.
I wanted to let you all talk because it seems like you all like doing that.
I'm ready for you to take to deal with this because I'm. People are scary.
All right, Orient, formation number 7, which means Orient splits off to the right to go kind of be able to do a little pincer move.
Okay, sure.
Carnivorous ants.
That happens. Is this your marching order?
Oh, definitely.
Yeah.
The
I wanna be right in front of
temperature
Iggy.
here.
It's cold.
Okay.
Was there more
Hold
to
to the
that
side
question?
of dry.
Is there any animal sounds?
You haven't seen anything. You have seen nothing. Once you left the forest where you saw the deer and the bears, which was about a day ago, there is nothing. You have seen nothing.
While this is happening, I'm going to do a protective cover around the first 3 people in order.
Okay.
Like I'm not doing it right now, but I'm preparing a barrier because I'm expecting to get shot.
I'd rather not get shot again.
All
yeah.
right. And so you start making your way gingerly forward. Gingerly or striding, Ray? You set the tone here.
Gingerly, looking back to Sid, he seems to have some combat experience. So I'm going to kind of assume 2x2 cover formation.
Good assumption.
Give him a weird
Sid
kind
seems-
of hand gesture like...
I'll look where he's pointing and
So you're gonna.
I'll look the opposite direction just to kind of make sure.
You're
okay.
gonna,
Yeah, I'll keep an eye out on that direction then. Yeah.
So you move up to standing next to Ray.
No, I'll kind of keep the same position, but I'll be on guard on that side or that flank. Should
Alright.
something come out from there, I'll charge at it.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm minding the left flank, kind of keeping Iggy always behind me. If I turn a certain direction, I move in front of him when I turn. Return
Yeah.
to front.
Sid doesn't have that kind of combat experience. He's kind of like a backstreet serial killer kind of. I know how to handle a knife. I know how things die. But not so much the soldier military stuff.
I got you. Ray, as you were running the bend, you see a large pile of snow, and
I avoid it.
sure, As you are avoiding this large pile of snow, you realize that there appears to be something underneath the snow, whimpering quietly.
I cease avoiding the pile of snow.
You're going to go over to it?
It's catnip. Ray can't resist someone that sounds like it's hurt.
All right.
I can sit on 5.
Do it.
From where you are,
Choose not to respond.
it looks like there's been a hole that's been dug into the earth, rather crudely, and could it be a child of some description has crawled inside, and then the snow has piled up over it, and the figure is obscured from sight, but you can see very, very light blue arms and very knobbly knees, and this sort of dirty blonde hair. Difficult to tell the gender simply because of the way it's hunched down and in the bottom of this pit.
Oh, I will look to the rest. I think there's a child in here. I'm just going to dive in.
All right, you start sort of reaching towards the child.
Like clearing away so they can see me first, so I don't just like become a hand approaching them.
Hello.
You'll be fine.
You'll be fine. You're coming with me. All right, that's what you are doing. So you're halfway down this pit. Iggy, what are you doing whilst Ray is getting this child?
He's desperately trying to consider like all of the possible outcomes of who would be looking to hurt him. He is not convinced that this child is legit, and he's wondering if there's any like kind of drawn tactics that he could from lore that he could pull upon that might, help him here or serve him here. Probably nothing, but that's what he's thinking about.
Okay, yeah, absolutely. Most of the books that you remember reading on the tactics of moving up a empty mountainside that does not contain any enemies whatsoever, pretty slim pickings.
Yep.
There are lots of tactics of moving up a mountainside with an active enemy.
Okay.
Most of the time, most of those, you don't recall them having anything to say about finding children in ditches.
Yep.
But-
So I'm going to like literally get right down and act like we're about to get shot at any second. And I'm like taking cover behind Ray's like knees and like kind of looking around. I am very paranoid after seeing Iris get shot a bunch of times.
Speaking of, Iris, what are you doing?
That's what
tree-
speaking of, Iris gets shot.
Yeah. The tree that's to the north of us, I want to fly to the opposite side of it and see if there's anything hiding behind it. So I'm going to fly up and then around it and see if there's anything hiding behind that tree.
Okay, well,
That'd be about where Orient is right now.
yeah, you see Orient hiding behind the tree. You're going to have to visualize it because that's as far as the map went. I didn't expect anyone to go hide behind that tree. My apologies.
No worries.
But
I didn't trust you.
My immersion.
But pick it up next time, okay?
Yeah, I'll do better. You see Orient hiding behind the tree. The tree itself is relatively undisturbed. There's some pretty flowers struggling against the snow, but otherwise that's it.
So I'm going to put my hands on the tree. I have a specific ability called Earth Speaker where I can talk to trees and plants as if they're sentient strangers.
Nice.
They can be cryptic, but they will talk to me. So I will ask the tree, why does this area reek and where did all the people go? Where are the animals?
Animals? I didn't notice animals.
But the passage of people are gone. Where did the people go?
They always go. And then come, and then go, and then come, and then go, and then come, and then go.
Okay, why is the there's a strange smell in the air and there's a lot of snow falling from the boughs of your trees. Is there anything happening to your people?
Smell. Have no idea what that is, but it sounds fantastic. With regards to snow falling, well, my dear, we all drop a little every now and again. But if you're asking as to why it's so frequent, well, that comes with age and the things that have been moving around recently.
What things?
Oh, little things, minor imps, inconveniences, really. The first here, before kind like you and your friends over there came through.
When did you last see the imps?
I would say... When last did I see them?
Yes.
Oh, about 2 days ago.
All right. You haven't seen them since?
Yes, I have.
When? When did you...
I see them now.
Where?
Currently
Oh,
digging one out.
around.
Wonderful. I'll be back. Thank you, friend. And I'm gonna fly over like they're imps. We're surrounded by imps.
As you walk away, who's your friend, girlie? Ha! That's all the tree
You.
says.
Oh, you are my friend.
As if. The tree goes back to being a tree.
Well, screw you too. No. I'll go back to them and like, isn't there imps? Imps, they're here.
Sidon, whilst Iris is chatting up the tree, what are you doing?
Well, I feel like continuing to watch the flank is a good idea, but Sid sort of stops and says, "Oh, you swear to God, every single bumping tree, every single wimping freaking puppy, you'll be the death of us all." As soon as he hears the topic of imps come up, what do we generally know about imps
They're
in
tasty.
this world?
Imps. There are creatures that are called imps in fairy tale. That much you do know. But most older folk will call almost anything that's under 5 foot tall an imp. So children are called imps. Goblins are called imps. Imps are called imps. It's obviously just used as a diminutive term as well. But if there are
Right,
imps,
so-
they usually fly, and either they're on fire or they set things on fire.
Okay. Do they have the ability to go invisible by chance?
You would need to give me a law check to know that.
I will do so.
All right.
I'm going to use one of my light points
Okay.
to get an extra dice on this one.
Cute.
Ah, not bad. Okay, so that is a 19.
Some imps are said to be able to turn invisible. The house imps, for example, those people that eat all of the biscuits and leave nothing behind, or who move your teacup, or who finish your coffee whilst you're not thinking. Those types of imps generally are considered to be completely invisible and cannot be detected whatsoever. Otherwise, folklorian imps, they're usually just on fire and come from the darkest depths of the infernals. There's no mention of them being invisible.
Okay, so there
they
are
smell like
some.
dung?
No, generally it's sulfur and brimstone.
Right.
I can't wait for this to be a mulligan that's been just making everyone paranoid.
Yeah,
For
I'm
just
just
a
gonna
kid.
I'm gonna say, I swear to God. All right, well, you all stay here and you play in your little hole. I'll check and make sure that we're not gonna get attacked by anything. I'm gonna move a little bit further up the road, just to kind of, also very sneakily, because the road winds upwards, doesn't it?
It does, yes.
I'm very sneakily kind of taking the high ground a bit.
Oh, Kadokes, you're starting to sneak towards the high ground. Ray, you have now managed to get yourself halfway down this tunnel when the child looks at you, and the child has this very serene face, great big blue eyes, definitely a girl, and she seems absolutely terrified.
Yeah, I'm gonna rip the cloak off And-
Yes.
and just kind of hold it out. I promise I won't hurt you. I'll take you out of this hole if you want. There's nobody out here who's gonna hurt you. It's just us. One of us looks terrifying. Don't talk to him.
The child nods and
What's
says,
your name?
But I can't leave. I have to
Ooh.
help my friends.
That's okay. We can help your friends together. Why don't you tell me who your friends are? And everyone behind me should listen, because I've seen this horror movie.
All you guys hear from out this hole that just has raised legs and ass sticking out of it is...
It's about to be
Get
the
him.
Evil Dead.
Give him hell, Ray.
trapdoor scene. It's like
I'll
60 gallons of blood shoot out from the side of it.
Yep, that's what I'm expecting.
Worth
Damn.
it.
I will take Holly and be like, stick her down the hole and see if she can entertain the child. Like, look, it's a little fairy.
she
little
can't fit
pixie."
past Ray. It's literally, the hole was just big
He's
enough
just
for him
wedged in
to-
there?
Yeah,
Yeah,
just
I dug myself in.
scrabble down, yeah.
All right, never mind.
I have essentially split the party.
And yourself.
You imagine there's a fight and you're
With
stuck in a
just your
hole.
midsection.
Yeah, I can
Imagine you get stuck in there and it's
real
just your
hard.
feet.
Yeah, so the child's eyes suddenly go completely grey. And for a moment, she doesn't seem to move at all. And then her eyes return to being bright and blue. And she says, I don't think you'd want to help them.
Shuffle, shuffle back, shuffle back, shuffle back. No, he wouldn't know about any kind of occultish crap. He's anti-Iggy. He just goes like, it's probably fine.
It's probably fine.
I just do that sometimes. You know, maybe just trickle the light.
Is she a prophet? There's a
the player thinks that she is a child possessed by mind control of something much darker that's nearby and watching us. But Ray has no idea. He
That
doesn't
girl
even
in the
think to
devil.
know. He just sees like a small child who's clearly in peril and stuck down an ice hole. Like, it's okay, you can come with me.
But
I
will you
promise
help my
it'll be warm.
friends?
What do your friends need me to do?
Well, they're in trouble. Their
Well, I
home
can
got
help them.
attacked.
Oh, that's not good. We can
No.
help them. Are they nearby?
You swear you'll help my friends?
Of course, I'll help everybody.
She sticks out a grubby hand. Pinky swear?
Oh, definitely pinky swear. That's sacred. Yeah, absolutely.
That's
All
a
right,
compact.
She shakes your little finger and says, "Oh, okay." And then she turns and she knocks 3 times on the stone that's behind her. And the stone slides open. And that smell of dung, but now it's warm and really
Oh, and I'm
powerful.
plugging this hole too. So it's
Oh,
just
yeah.
like-
It
Oh,
just
that's awesome.
floods in, and you notice
Smells-
the ice is actually starting to melt a little bit, just in terms of the humidity that's just pouring out of this little hole. And she looks at you and she says, "Okay, follow me." And she jumps into the space that this boulder has created.
I'm going to back out of the hole and inform my party of what's happening.
He ejects himself, and then
Oh,
there's
oh my-
this-
What does that
Jeez, you
smell?
smell like shite.
Ray, what did you eat?
I mean, the back of me was outside. Nothing's changed except what's in
No,
the
but you just
front.
released all this hot air.
Oh, sorry. That's. There's a hole down there with some poo in it and a small child who appears to need help. She says there's people down there been attacked.
Okay, now I'm gonna be
Down
able to do a
there.
lore check to be like what lives down there and all that stuff.
like,
Lives in shit under
wait,
the.
like the drow that have a network of tunnels,
I think they're called drow.
or whatever that the dark elves
20,
that are literally under the ground
24.
that we
famously-
just attacked.
that are famously so deep underground it takes dwarven miners to reach them. Yes,
Right.
forgot about that little fact. Could be someone else. Could be goblins who are also
Well,
subterranean.
look, there could also be the fact that, there might be a Bane Lord running around in Breach, doing whatever they want, while a team of wayward adventurers trying to find out where they are is neck deep in a shite hole.
Oh, I
Yeah.
think we just met the Bane Lord.
20,
Well, that is
23.
a point.
23.
That is a point.
You are,
Damn you and your logic.
You're trying to figure this all out, and you're like, it's got to be goblins. They reek. They're defilers. They live underground in caves and eat mushrooms and children. and stuff, but they don't have any natural predators in their spaces. It's not like they mine. They just follow cave systems and things. They're usually more of a nuisance than anything else. Occasionally they'll lead a raid out onto a road or into a small hamlet or a village, but they would pose zero problems to the breach.
Don't goblins eat children as well?
That's what Iggy is remembering from his tutor.
So that if that is a child, she's probably going to be eaten by goblins. So we should probably get her out of there.
Yeah, I was just
Yes,
thinking that.
bring her up here where I can. No, I mean, I'm joking. I'm joking. Okay, keep calm.
Ray gives you just a death glare.
Same.
Look. All right, look. I'm not a glutton. All right,
put a hand on you.
but I think it's more safer to bring the little girl out and take her with us to the breach than it would be to go digging around in a hole with her. That's just my thinking.
I think she's already down there, right? She jumped down?
Yeah, she down there. And fair enough, I did pinky swear, so it's kind of a binding contract, so I'm going to go down and help.
Can you even fit?
Oh, well,
Yeah,
you know,
just
if you
give me
made
a
a
minute.
pinky swear.
You can fit?
He tries to do the cool dive into the hole move, but halfway through gets stuck.
Can-
Huh.
Oh my god.
Just a minute, I'm getting it done.
I despise being underground.
It's okay. We just close your eyes and pretend you're in the sky. It's basically the same thing, except it's cramped. All right. Can you move, Ray? I'm going to come after you. I literally can't live here outside unless you're in front of me.
I could use a push.
I'm going to kick him in the butt.
All right, you kick him down, and he sort of scooches forward.
No!
You,
Oh, I've been waiting to do that since I met the fella.
You need to put him in a hole.
Yeah,
Now kick him in the butt.
Oh,
yeah,
Oh,
that's
like
true.
that's dark. Get in the ground.
I follow, but I'm very much smaller than Ray, so I just
Yes,
slide
you
right in.
Slide all the way down in, absolutely.
Yeah, Ray's basically like our ice shovel. Like, you know, just... like we're just making the hole a little wider so the rest of it can fit.
Yep.
What happens when I go headfirst into the poo hole?
Good
You
question.
block the scent, and as you're
Close your mouth
shuffling
as you're
through,
moving.
it's suctioning all the good air down into this hole.
Perfect.
Yeah,
Yeah. No, you
I'm
slide
like a
in.
Yankee candle.
Ray, you go sliding in first, and you get to the little hole the girl went down, and you sort of shovel your way through. I guess would be the best way to describe it. Yes.
Yeah, I'm gonna get a stick of butter and like just
Lube.
All right.
yeah
The walls.
around Ray.
I don't know. Ray's through.
I have a
He's
kid- I have a
fine.
quick-
He's fine. He's not stuck.
Yeah, good.
Yeah.
I'm
he's-
going down dead last.
Oh, no,
I hate
sorry,
being
my
underground.
apologies. It's not because you're stuck.
It's
There's nothing.
anticipation.
Just
Ah,
covering you in butter.
You lick him.
No, please don't.
I just cover you in butter.
No,
This
I
is
don't.
becoming a very different episode. Let's.
Oh, yeah.
No, yes, no, I'm not. This is
Swiftly on.
I think that
You,
was Michael realizing the little smile I had in my face. On, yeah, go ahead and cry. Go ahead.
I would love it if like Ray was taking a pound and you're like, yeah, tenderize the meat, do it.
Please.
It'll be so great for
Please.
cooking later.
I'm ready to go down this hole and die.
We'll be fine.
if I don't die, I'm just going to kill myself. All right,
Yeah.
so Ray, you slip through this hole first, and it's quite a deep slide, as a matter of fact. It goes down a good 30, 40 feet, and then you suddenly pop out.
We-
Yeah, exactly. You suddenly pop out in a very dark space. It's so dark, in fact, that the map has chosen to show us that. And then you hit water, and there is a splash.
This is reminiscent of the town.
You slam
like it's
into
happened
a
before.
pool of water. It's slightly warm, the water, and has a little bit of a sulfurous smell to it, a slightly eggy smell as well. And that's where you find yourself. You don't have a torch on you, do you?
I do. I have multiple.
All right. They're all wet.
I mean, yeah, I'm about to say I just landed in water, so I'm not sure how good they are. But
A moment later, Iggy.
I'm casting a glowing orb as I'm moving down. because
Right.
it's super dark down here.
Absolutely.
And so I succeeded, and I got a great success, so I don't blow myself up. And
That's always a benefit.
and then so I have a glowing orb that's about equivalent to a torchlight that's like around me as I fall down towards the very pretty water.
Can I stand in this water, or is this like swim in water, or is it stand in water?
Well, you're busy sort of paddling around, and then you discover, yes, you can actually stand in it. If you sort of swim in one direction, you can sort of touch the base with just your toes, and you keep moving in that direction.
Okay, so it's deep.
It's about 6.5 foot deep at where you plunged in, but rapidly gets shallower.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm
All
gonna
right.
quickly feel my way out of it, and as Iggy comes down, I'll just be ready to kind of grab him if need be.
Oh,
I
thank you.
assume wizards can't swim.
I can't. I literally will die.
I literally will die. All right.
Yeah.
Let me just see what's going on with this map here quickly. And so, yes, you all eventually come plunging through, except, obviously, for one by Iris, who floats down. Is that
I
correct?
get down there, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna get shot. This looks like last time.
Does this place smell like methane?
Methane?
Nothing?
No, not really.
Okay. Just wanted to make sure. In case it was filled with poo gas, I'd tell people not to light a torch
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, it's just very...
or use fire.
That dung
in
is
any way.
definitely very present. There's no doubt about that. But it doesn't feel like methane. Yeah.
Okay.
Feels like hydrogen, pure
Yeah.
hydrogen.
Pure and unbridled.
Eventually, you all smash into this pool. Let's just move that down a little bit.
This pool is beautiful.
It
It's like
is.
this little
Yeah,
place.
I was not imagining that.
It's
Yeah.
remarkably beautiful.
I thought poo hole.
No.
Same.
I thought we were in we.
Yeah. No, there's definitely...
Yeah.
The water is definitely warm, but when you look down, you can see little bubbles in the bedrock slowly
Hey.
making their way up into the surface of the pool. That's what's giving it the slightly sulfurous smell. But that other trace is still definitely on the wind as well. There
like
is no
fumaroles.
sign of the little girl.
So is this like we found where, because on the other side of the mountains is the volcano, were we assuming that this is leaking like pressurized like water and heat and stuff, and it's coming up through these things like a hot spring almost?
Like we found a crap-covered hot springs.
I think you're thinking that now.
Hooray!
Well, that's
We should open up a hotel here.
where'd she go, Ray?
I can't see.
Well, you have my orb now, so you should be able to see about as far as torch.
Yeah.
Uh,
get out of the
small
pool?
one, where you at?
Yes.
Oh yeah, definitely.
All right. You kind of climb out the pool. Iggy, you get out of the pool as well?
Yeah, behind Ray. As awkward as that might be.
Right. Yeah. You sort of... Sidon?
I'm gonna take some of the water in like one of my little like water skins.
Sure.
You know, who knows what properties it might have, like for stuff.
Yeah. Not a problem.
And then I'll get out.
All right. Iris?
I'll just fly over.
Sure thing.
Whee.
You realize that this is... It looks like an old mine, perhaps. Because there is an old ladder that crosses a rather deep pit. There is a lever, or for you, Sammy, a lever, that is on the side of the wall that looks connected to the rope bridge.
Canadians say lever as well.
Lever.
Is it just Americans that say lever?
Yeah.
I say lever.
I actually lived in the States for quite some time, so I say both.
I'll
In America, we call them stick.
I believe it's pronounced levier.
Well, I know. Okay, here's the real question. I know Guy probably pronounces it as a bagel. I call it a bagel.
Okay, I'm gonna go
Say
look at
bagel.
this rope bridge and
Yeah, we're
just
going to move on
evaluate.
from that conversation real quick.
Let's call it breakfast, y'all.
I'm gonna go check.
Wait, no one wants to put it to big lever? Should we just
Not
Can we?
hold that lever.
Can I?
You don't
I'm
know
gonna-
what it does.
I'm just gonna brain that lever and versus the thing and just make sure nothing happens if we just pull bad things.
You're fairly
What?
certain because you can see the mechanisms. You don't even have to make a roll for it. You can see the
Right.
mechanisms. This lever is definitely attached to this bridge. And what it looks like is that if you pull it, the bridge will simply collapse on this side, preventing anything that's on the other side from crossing, or at least having to make a rather tricky 10-foot jump.
Here, so we have to run.
Okay, so yeah, we can like break the bridge with that lever if we so chose.
I see.
So if we need to make a hasty
maybe-
getaway, then we use it.
Right. And quick question. What about that over there? I point what I imagine is to the west of where I
Yeah, I was
currently
thinking
stand.
left too.
We're not on the bench. It's a
No, down
To
by
left.
where I am, 2 squares over.
Ah, that is a passageway which leads to a small door. The door seems rather crudely constructed. Definitely not at the same caliber as whoever constructed the bridge and excavated a lot of the edges of this particular chamber. It seems a lot cruder. It is reeking of dung, as a matter of fact.
Is this where the smell of dung coming from?
Yes.
Well,
Ray,
yeah.
this is where the dung stench is coming from. This might be where her friends are. Do you want to go first?
All right. I will go first.
All right. You start wandering forward. I will reveal what you see. Now, give me a second. You've got that torch with you.
It's still wet, I assume.
The glowing orb. Apologies.
Yes.
Oh, the glowing orb, yeah.
Verbiage. It looks like it's a T-junction of sorts.
Okay.
The rest of the room, and this is what is perhaps unusual or more unusual, again, it looks like the room was carved and made by people who knew what they were doing, but the doorway does not. You also realize on the walls there are a lot of very crude drawings and illustrations of figures and characters. Now, to the left is a passageway leading off. To the right is another passageway. And that stench of dung is even stronger to the left than it is to the right.
All right. I'm going to call out once again the little girl. Not like full throated, just small one. You around? We come to help your people.
There is a whimper, and from the left-hand side, the little girl goes, "I'm here. Where are you?"
Why don't you come out to where you hear my voice at? Because I played this game before.
All right. She says, I'm coming.
All right. The girl is coming towards my current location, everyone.
I'm gonna go to Ray.
You go to Ray.
I'm gonna ready like an action if like a whole bunch of goblins like show up. I'm just like,
Yeah, I'm gonna prepare the barrier if they start throwing things at them.
Are you going to move closer as well then?
Yeah.
All right. And Sidon?
I will try, to respect the fact that there is a little girl and I am quite terrifying, to kind of just stay around the corner, but within earshot.
Okay. That's what you do. Not a problem at all. Now, as this sound of footsteps gets closer and closer, suddenly you hear, "Oh, I can't get any closer."
What's the insight check variant here
That would be called empathy.
for trap?
It's awake, is all that she says.
It's awake. Cool. Can't wait to meet it. Let's see. Empathy does wits, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. I've got proficiency. I get to use
me.
wits.
What is your roll?
I'm rolling. Or no, it's insight actually. Ooh, not bad. I got doubles, but double twos.
Yeah. It's a good
And yeah, that would be +2. Sorry, this is weird math for me to do.
No worries.
12.
12?
Yeah.
Okay. You think she's telling the truth. she genuinely can't get across. Something is definitely awake.
All right. I assume everyone else in the room heard that.
Yep. I'm right behind you.
And I will. Hey, Iris, you are the one who was able to move real quiet. Like I am wearing clank full armor.
Oh yes, I'll just go right ahead and get shot again first.
I'll be nearby.
Yeah, you're not going to get in front of a bullet, but I'm going to float forward anyways.
What's a bullet?
You're going to float forward anyways?
Yeah, might as well.
All right.
I'm going to be like, all right, I'm ready for this. Let's not get eaten.
Are you going quietly? Are you trying to
yes.
stealth in? All right.
Oh,
Give me a stealth check as you slowly drift in.
I have proficiency in stealth. What's the stealth? It's agility
Stealth
or?
is agility. That is correct.
That's why I sent you ahead.
10, 12.
12? Well, Iris, you drift forward. And from where you are now, I will reveal a little bit more of the map. Looks like there's a cave ahead with multiple exits. That's what you're seeing. I will move the map over for you now. You had to get to about there to see it.
There's a lot of twists and turns in here, child. Where are you?
Speak softer, it'll hear you.
You see what I mean? Maybe don't yell to the child.
It's the big bad.
Okay, well maybe you should go around the big bag to us.
I can.
Do I notice that her story has changed dramatically from my friends were attacked to there's a thing that's asleep?
She's not asleep anymore. She says it's awake.
Well, you pointed it out to me.
Okay.
So I would guess Ray would yes.
Okay. I'm just gonna kind of look back at Eggy. She's told two different stories now.
Well,
One for
it
friends
might
who
be the
attacked, now
same
it's the
story.
thing.
I think the goblins are trapped behind a bear or something. Like they have the smell of dung is what's giving it away. Like they're pooping where they live, and then whatever is big and mean is blocking the door, and so they have to sneak past to get fed. Probably some of them got eaten on the way. That's my guess.
All right, just stay behind.
You know,
in case of
back
any-
in the city, we used to have little street waifs that used to pretend like they
I
were.
shut the door on his story. There we go.
He opens. He's standing in the door, so it doesn't actually shut. And he says, "We used to have little girls that used to actually trick stupid folks, you know, not pointing any names, to walk into places where they'd eventually get ambushed and murdered. Food for thought. Oh no! Please help me, sir. My husband, he's fallen down a well. You should come and save me. Bam! Told you. Yeah, get
Did
some
you
free
not
meals
know
that
that I
way.
was
Very
part
easy.
of City Watch when you started telling that story?
Hey,
I'll
I
put it on.
didn't say I do it. I'm just saying, you know, I'm not the City Watch. I didn't
That's-
make sure that the degenerates of the city turned out that way. That'd be someone else's responsibility.
Little girls would never do that. That's no way.
Yeah, some would. It was a thing. It was.
Really?
I chuckled to myself.
So
Never
this-
trust city girls.
This whole conversation is rattling off behind you, Iris.
Right.
What are
Which-
you doing?
Which passage is the big bad?
It's in the room.
Is it on the ceiling?
No, it's not on the ceiling.
I don't see it.
We'll step into the room and you'll see it.
No, I'd rather not get shot.
Okay, we'll just have to wait then.
Okay, we'll wait.
What's happening?
Talking to the child. Why are we waiting?
I'm going to take Holly and be like, can you scout ahead? And let her go.
Bye, Holly.
Yeah, Holly looks at you and then drifts.
Well, they can be very, very sneaky. Let's go to Pixies.
Yeah.
Dee-dee-dee-dee. So I can do, it's called invisible scouting. You spend a loyalty point. The pixie can fly invisibly in advance of the party and report what it sees. They cannot suffer harm or scouting. Instead, they just might get lost. So I have to roll 2 d6s and figure out what she does.
Go for it.
Nice.
2d6.
That is a 6. The follower returns with good information, but they may have been spotted. Roll again 2d6. The result is equal or less than the follower's craft. They were not spotted.
All
So
right.
then another 2d6. And they rolled a 6. I don't know what Holly's craft is.
Down there. There it is.
Where?
5.
Okay, yeah, so she rolled higher than her craft, so she's not been spotted.
All right.
Fancy.
She comes back and she reports that there is a giant, for her anyway, there is a titanic lizard thing, monster, which seems to be slumbering to the north in the larger section of the cave that you are staring at. And it has a chain around its neck, and it just looks very angry.
It looks angry in its sleep.
Yes, it just looks angry everywhere. It's just got spikes and spines, and it's almost pure black.
I gotta check on Buckles. 1 second.
Right, the donkey.
The donkey? Yeah. So I'm like, all right, I'll be back in a second. I'll relay that to Ray and Sidon. But it's chained to the wall?
No. It just has a chain on its neck.
Okay. So I'll relay that to them.
Okay.
Did you pluralize necks?
I did not. That was
Okay,
a
I thought you
mistake.
did, and I was about to forget. Oh,
So
good,
many.
leaving.
So
Sorry, kid,
to be
bye.
clear, the chain around its neck just hangs loosely.
Appears so.
Okay.
I'll whisper over.
Well, ain't that fascinating?
Is this thing was hurting your friends and attacking your friends?
It ate most of them.
Why hasn't it eaten you?
I'm sneaky.
I like this kid.
I like the giant lizard.
And you get somewhere, is there another
tracks.
door you can get behind and we can kill this thing for you?
Okay. You hear the very quietest of clicks.
Right. Ray, do we want to destroy this thing and save her friends?
I mean, our pinkies war, we kind of have to. Or at
Look,
least we
I'm
can
just
sneak it
saying-
Out of there.
I'm just saying, I'm accustomed to a bunch of racists criticizing your eating habits, so I'm all well and good to leave well enough alone, natural order and all that. I think I'm more interested in that chain. If someone brought it here, maybe there's a way we can, push it along rather than kill it.
I like that.
How is your mule?
Oh, she's very thirsty. Are we gonna? So we're gonna go help the lizard?
No, we're gonna kill the lizard.
Oh, but
Yeah.
I doubt the lizard's
blood.
gonna willingly let us have it.
well, can I
The
just like
bloodthirsty iris strikes again.
Oh yeah, sure, says the one who eats people.
let me look at it, and I'm gonna go around and actually be brave and go look at this lizard.
Do we have a mirror? You can just
Yeah, that was the plan.
shimmy around the wall.
So I was just gonna use like one of those like
the little like a
mirror
reflective
thing so I
surface
can
and
see.
do it so you see it.
Due to the miracle of how lighting works, it's in darkness. You just see a paw. Or is it a paw? You're not entirely sure what it is exactly.
I can move the glowing orb up 2 squares around me, or
All
1
right.
square around me.
1 square around you.
Yeah, so it has to be in my vicinity.
That's then what you get to see. It's spines and spikes and teeth and spines and more spikes and more teeth. There's black spines and spikes and teeth. There's very little else to describe it. Is lying over a pile of bones and dead bodies. The moment your light touches it, however, its eyes just open, or you think it's its eyes. You're not entirely sure. It could just be spines that are opening up to reveal teeth, but it's really spiky, and something opens up, and they just fixate directly on your mirror, because it's reflecting the light of your orb into its face. And the whole thing just slithers forward, and you realize it's got about 10 legs which push out the side of it, and it's this long serpentine-like beast. It reeks of death and carnage, and it is going to... It's just coming straight for your mirror, and you by proxy.
I scream and run. Just kill it! As I run out
I'm gonna run to Iggy and drag him away if I can.
All right, well, we're in
This sounds about
combat,
right.
so this is how combat works. One of you gets to act first.
As soon as the scream happens, I'm running to Iggy and dragging him off if I can.
All right, Ray is running
Barry?
to Iggy and trying to drag him back.
Yeah.
All right. Iggy's not resisting. Iggy's running as fast as he possibly can. So,
Yeah.
yes, you drag him back and behind you,
Definitely behind me.
I would guess. Yes. All right.
Yes.
So you get into that sort of safeguard position. Iris or Sidon?
I'm going to cast their Cloak of Shadows
Uh-huh.
on Iggy and myself.
Oh, so you're going to move over to Iggy?
Yeah, I'm gonna move out of Iggy. I don't want to take this thing. No way. So I summon complete darkness as like night has fallen, making myself and another character on difficulty. At the start of your turn as free action, you can cast a spell on yourself and cast it on an ally within reach. On success, any damage the target would take as a result of the ranged or melee is halved until my start of my next turn. So I'm gonna cast that on Iggy and I.
I think it even hits Ray too. It's
Oh,
like
it might
anybody
hit Ray too because he's right
anybody
beside
in
me.
your vicinity. Yeah.
Yeah, so I will cast that.
Alrighty.
I got a fate point. Yay!
Nice.
10, 13 plus. Yeah, oh yeah, I passed that. That was difficulty 11. Not even my bonuses. I hit 13.
There's no doubles though, so you lose a spell point, unfortunately.
Fine.
So a couple spell points, 2 spell points. to
Yeah,
cast
that's that's 20 for my
you
spell.
Very nice. So darkness surrounds the two of you, and Ray as well to a certain degree. Sidon, you're up.
All right. I'm going to. I mean, I can only hear it from this point.
Yes.
As it rushes through. It sounds super big, so I'm going to hold the door for them, and I say, "Come on, hurry up this way!" And I'll ready a dagger to kind of throw it. I'm gonna kind of aim to, I guess, if it's attacking, either on one of them, I'm gonna aim for a shot to try and disrupt its a bite or a claw or whatever's coming, and then just wait until everyone's through. I'm kind of like pressing myself.
All right. Ray, you see this creature of weird darkness and greenness come sliding around the corner. It sees the three of you, you think, or it sees you anyway. And it suddenly lurches forward by rushing towards the side of the wall. It scrabbles up the side of the wall. It realizes it's too big for the gap between of the tunnel for it to fit down. It suddenly bursts into black smoke, which pours forward, and then just the head section coalesces out of the smoke and just chomps down on you. So would you give me a defense... if you will, a defense check, if you will.
Absolutely. 1 fate point, please.
Quick question.
Yes, sir.
Our armor still has an X in it, I'm assuming, right?
That's right, yeah.
Okay, cool. But everything else is repaired.
Yes,
Other
we'll
than
take that
that.
as a
Okay.
given.
Right.
What is your defense check?
I got double 6s, so I'm happy about that.
Well, that's nice.
Defense is
12 plus your
I can do this.
agility. In this case, agility.
so that's 16. I got
16. You manage to duck low, and its bite just clamps around dead air, very close to Iggy's face, actually, because it's lunging directly towards you. And it sort of coils back into the shadowy mist. It's not going...
Shove Iggy forward. Take him.
When it makes the bite, do I get my attack off?
Yeah, you're holding your dagger. You wanted to make a ranged attack, yeah?
Yeah.
All right, give me a ranged attack.
Okay. Missile weapon. 3, 6, 9, 13.
13. It bounces off of its blackness and clatters to the ground.
Damn. Because I got 3, 3, 3 on that one.
Yeah. Would have been great. That was an extraordinary
It was
success.
awesome if it hit.
Yeah. Back to top of the round. It's any one of you four to act.
I'm gonna do Psionic Blast as a free action,
All right. You
and
mentally
then I'm
attack this
gonna I'm gonna psychic attack. So first Psionic Blast to fortify my psychic,
Yes.
and I'm just gonna see. I'm gonna do the mind probe like we did before and see its intent. Obviously, it's hungry, but Iggy's always curious.
Sure. It is going to spend a dark side point to increase its threat level.
Okay.
All right.
I'm not attacking it yet. I have to burn another spell point, but I do get it off.
Okay.
So that's 2 spell points burned, and I do get a spell point back because I roll a 6 on my Kismet. That's what Iridescent does. Or if I roll a 1, I get set on fire. That's the fire thing. Okay. So I only had to spend 1. That's great. So I do get it off. Now I'm going to attack.
Yes.
I believe I get a +1 in addition because, yes, +1. +1, +2, +7. So +10.
Nice.
It's a success likely, but it's just a success, so he probably gets to counter me.
Right.
So 11, 21, 25, 24.
24. Definitely. Your psychic blast just buries into this thing's mind. You get an impression of a humanoid, a dark-skinned humanoid standing over this beast and whipping it or slapping it with a sword or cutting it with a sword. Something that it's very, very afraid of. And it seems to be the only thing that's on its mind as you deal its damage. But at the same time, its mind seems to close around yours with the same spikes and spines and black smoke that encapsulates its body at its present moment in time. So yes, that is a psychic attack. You did a standard attack, is that correct?
Yes.
You got a standard success? Yes.
That's it. Yeah.
Okie dokes. So you take half damage from the creature, which is oh boy, you take 4 whole points of damage.
Is that with my dark shadow?
Your dark shadow would protect from melee attack, I believe.
So
melee and range.
so it just halves it. So
it half it.
So I still have armor. So it's like it starts to shred apart.
No, it's psychic.
It's psychic?
Armor. Didn't you make
Okay,
a psychic?
that's good.
You made a psychic attack, didn't you?
I did. Yeah, you're right. Correct.
It's a psychic counter attack.
So 2 damage. Okay.
Why are you halving it?
It doesn't. It's just. Oh, sorry.
No, it
the
doesn't,
shadow
yeah.
doesn't. Right. Cool.
Shadow
4 damage.
is melee and ranged. You were saying, Kai?
Yeah, so it
Yeah.
wouldn't matter.
Yeah.
I counter with 20 damage. So the Psionic Blast adds my craft, which is 7. And then I add my wits, which is 14. And then I rolled a 6 on the dice, maximum damage, which is 6. So 20 damage.
Your wits is 14?
No, it's 7 for wits.
Right.
7 for craft because I rolled the first thing I rolled was Psionic Blast, which allows me to add my craft
Right.
to the damage.
Okay.
And then I hit it with a 6 on the dice. So 7 plus 7 plus 6, 20.
It explodes in black smoke, gas, and a slight popping sound as it literally just disappears into smoke.
You one shot it.
Yeah, I suspect that Iggy once it comes into his face, his eyes go wide and he just reacts. And then the blast hits the thing and hits him back at the same time. So he hits his head on the wall and then like kind of slides down the wall with like a little bit of a red streak. And he's like, "Oh, what happened?"
That was impressive. The chamber is quiet except for Iggy's complaining.
Well, who knew? Little fella had it in him all the whole time.
Yeah, everything's
was-
fine. Is blood from your eyes normal?
After a bit, yeah. I was midway through my own reaction attack, as well when you killed it. Because I have Avenger, so if someone hits someone right next to me, I'm like, nope, sorry.
So was
Do
the
that again.
is the chain anywhere? Like the
Yes,
thing around its
it
neck?
has indeed dropped to the floor.
All right, I'll take a look at it, and I want to see if there's like a maker's mark on the chain.
All right, you come forward and join the rest down in the space.
That's all you. I'm going for the little girl, wherever she's at.
All right, she was down to the south passageway.
Oh, and I'll retrieve my dagger as well since I'm over here.
Sure. So, Ray, you're going down that way. Iris, where are you going?
I'm going to be taking care of Iggy.
All right. I believe your spell will now expire.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Sidon, you're looking at this chain, and it's beautifully made. It really is very well made, and it's incredibly strong, too. So strong that well, you're not entirely sure how you would break this, as a matter of fact. And the links in the chain are so close together that it almost, at first you thought it was maybe made out of black rope, but then you realize it's lots and lots and lots of very small links to create this almost solid and yet completely flexible chain.
Wow.
Second scale.
I'm gonna keep this.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
You have a chain. It's pure black in nature, and it does reflect the light. It has a purple sheen to it.
Well, would you look at that? Whoever made this definitely had skills of a craftsman. This person was definitely put here by someone or something important.
Meanwhile, Ray, you've rushed ahead of everybody and have discovered that the door is closed quite firmly to the south.
The angry thing is gone. You can open the door now.
Are you sure?
I'm really sure it made my friend's eyes bleed and he blew it up.
The door opens partially, and you see the big eyes of the wide-eyed girl staring at you. And she sort of glances around the rest of the room. It's really gone?
I'll back up 2 meters or so and just kind of not block the area.
She smiles quite
Come out
broadly.
now.
She looks behind her and she says, "Hey, it's okay. It's gone. You can go now." From behind her, you hear a shuffling sound. And do you step into the room?
No, like I said, I stepped 2 meters back to
I
get little
apologize.
ones out access and to be closer to my party
All right. So
in case, the psychotic little skinny wizard needs to explode something else.
Psychotic, yeah.
Yeah. When he goes, he goes.
when he goes, he goes. That's true. All right. So you step back, and I don't know what is going on with the map at the moment. I'm just going to go here for now. You step back, and the little girl comes rushing out. And following behind her are 2 heavily wounded, they're definitely goblins. And they kind of look up at you, Ray, and then look at the girl, and she reassures them, "No, they're our friends. He swore to protect us." The 2 goblins, both reeking of dung, look up at you. One of them digs a finger into its nose and comes out with this mucus, and then it extends a gnarled, spiky, nailed hand with the mucus on it towards you.
I assume Orient joined us down in this hole, but kind of stayed back for the fight for plot reasons.
She's a follower. You've got various functions you can use. So, no, she's with you.
Yeah, that's what I was kind of look over at her, kind of one of those pleading looks of, you've been telling me how to be a better person, but he's got his hand covered in that. How am I supposed to handshake that hand? Now we'll take out a little rag. I'll just assume I have a rag.
Yeah.
And I will push it around my hand, wipe his hand off, and then properly shake his hand. There you go.
Gives you a very confused look, and then he looks down at his hand, and then his mouth spreads open, and you see just this array of sharp teeth, but lots of gaps in between as well. And he looks up at you, shakes your hand.
It's very unusual for your kind to assist us.
Well, not everybody hates everybody else. It's different. But you don't seem like you pose much of a threat. You helped this little girl, so I'm grateful to you. We'll get you out of here if you want.
You are mistaken. It is the child who has saved us.
Well, she does look pretty strong. You a hero, little girl?
No, I'm not a hero.
Well, you saved all these people. That's what a hero do.
I'm not a hero, she says again. The
Would you like
other
to come and meet the
goblin
other folks?
next to
Sorry.
you, the other goblin is a younger one. You don't know what gender it is underneath all the mud and muck and that sort of thing. Looks up and says,
We are in your debt. What is it that you wish us to do?
Bathe first. That would be nice. It's not your fault, but you smell powerful like the inside of a cow. And I brought other people with me. They're not going to hurt you, I promise. But you can come out and meet them if you like. And I'm kneeling down while I'm saying I'm down on my haunches to be closer to their level.
There are others here.
says the elder one, sort of looking around in fear.
They won't hurt you. One looks like he might, but he won't, because I will rip him in half if he touches you. But that's the wizard. You got to watch out for him. He's insane.
I hear you.
Iris?
I mean, you did good. You didn't frighten me at all. Casting nighttime and exploding it like it was nothing.
Has the smell of sulfur gotten worse?
No. As a matter of fact, it has not.
All right.
I wasn't talking to them
just-
quietly just to make sure everyone could probably hear me.
Probably here. Yeah, that's good.
I'm going to flip forward. I'm assuming like goblins are still creatures of the forest, right? I'm assuming I would have met some in the Great Forest.
They usually are underneath the forest. So,
But, like I'm sure I've run into them before.
oh yeah, living in the roots and underneath the tree, in caves underneath trees and that sort of thing. Absolutely.
Yeah, they're nature's creatures, so
Yes.
I'll just come forward.
Ah, we haven't seen a fairy in quite some time.
I'm on my
Sid
way.
will also.
Sid walks forward.
Yep.
The goblins look at you. They kind of give you a nod.
There are none left, I'm afraid, for your table. They've all been destroyed.
He says, looking at you, Sidon.
Sidon will sort of not move from his like kind of spooky, creepy kind of demeanor, but will reach into his backpack and produce two very small containers. They're kind of like leaves, like wrapped up in kind of just this very thin twine, and hand two of them, two very big, hefty ones to the goblin. Looks like it's slim pickings all around.
We have been entrapped down here for quite some time. It appears our captors grew bored, waiting for us to starve out. Sadly, it has been quite some time. And there were many, and now there are but two.
Who were your captors?
It is the Elves of the Dark. They're still here. I am surprised they have not been roused by the battle that you had with their guardian.
They've been acting particularly strangely as of late. Have they said anything to you?
They invaded our cave. This is most uncommon. We have not seen them in generations. Yet
They also
suddenly
came
they were here.
topside.
I beg your pardon.
They also went topside a few towns back.
That is very unusual.
Did they say what they wanted with you?
Nothing. They
Just
simply started to kill my people.
The one behind him has already started to eat the leaf thing in its entirety, just munching down on the whole thing.
You're not seasoning him, are you? This isn't just like a whole bag of thyme.
No, inside the each of the individual bags is actually a small dish of over salt saturated potatoes that have been very quickly flash fried with some smoked ham that's been sliced, ham from actual pigs, as well as a small amount of honey kind of mixed in as well. It's very good for dealing with fatigue and boosting stamina, especially if you are hungry and have to go long periods without food.
Salt-red potatoes are really good.
Yeah, it's he snorts it down. He is super enthusiastic.
Do you mind if we now depart? It has been quite difficult. I have a cousin who lives further down south, and we were hoping to rejoin them.
Will the girl be coming with you, or sweetheart, where do you come from?
She looks at you. She then says, "Oh, I live in the breach, but I would rather go with my friends."
Insight check. Can I?
You can make an empathy check, absolutely.
Yeah,
It
I don't
is-
believe that because they said she saved them, and I want to know if this has been surrounded by dark elves and this thing. How on earth did she find them and then save them? I don't believe a word she's saying.
Could have something to do with that. Oh my god.
I'm going to use a fate point to reroll.
All right. Light
I got-
set.
I got double fives. I've got
7.
18 on
Nice.
my
It's-
empathy.
It's a great success. It is empathy is insight.
Yeah, is it resolve or wits? Oh no,
It's
sorry,
insight.
insight's own thing. 6. That's a 10.
10. You're not entirely sure what's going on here. There's just too many questions. Whereas Ray, you're pretty convinced she is a very good liar.
It doesn't make
Okay.
sense.
I'm gonna look at Iris. Real quick, let's go check on the entrance and make sure that it's not being swarmed by those people, alright?
Of course.
You suspect that the Dark Elves have made it behind you?
They've been
Well,
coming
there's a
topside. They've been coming topside in different ways. I want to make sure that there's also that passageway with the bridge that they might have crossed. We'll be right back. Stay behind us. Stay here. We'll be right back.
Agreed.
Both the goblins skulk back into the chamber that they've just left. The little girl says, "But I don't understand. You killed the monster. Why can't we just leave?"
You just gotta
The-
make sure it's safe.
The monster was put here by others, so we just want to make sure that it's still safe. Go be with your friends.
Okay. She wanders back into the chamber and the door clicks shut.
She's lying.
I have a feeling it doesn't make sense. If there's dark elves abound and they dropped off this creature here, how would she get around them? And they said she saved them. It doesn't make sense.
There are a lot of things that don't make sense down here.
I could just, if she's hiding herself, I could just tear it down,
Maybe
like
we
with
try
magic.
All right, maybe
won't
don't
explode,
explode
right?
the small child.
Yeah, don't
No,
explode.
no.
Just read his mind.
I'm grabbing the. I know that was just an accident. I got really scared and then I poked its brain and it poked my brain back and that's what happens. All I'm doing is grabbing the weave around the spell that would be hiding her and unknitting it.
All right,
like that
perhaps before we start poking around inside the small girl's head, maybe we just take a casual look around with the old peepers first, eh?
Okay.
All right. I'm gonna start having a look at the western corridors that are just over there, just to kind of. I'm gonna kind of keep a lookout for signs of like like humanoid footprints, etc., that don't smell like goblin. I feel like I now have the aroma of goblin on my profile now. Like I've added it to my palette list. Definitely not gonna cook goblin anytime soon.
Yeah,
I'm gonna
it's
head
not,
to the
it's not
north.
north. I beg your
Up to
pardon,
where that
Ray?
creature was.
You're going north to where the creature was. All right. Iris, what are you doing whilst Side and Ray are going in different directions?
I'm going to put my ear to the door and listen to what's being said inside the room with the goblin and the child.
Thank you.
All right. Iggy?
I don't trust it!
Well, I have to be around these two so they can see, because no one's lit a torch, and I'm the one with the
Right.
glowing orb. So I gotta. I'm like kind of standing between it, going, which way you
That's
want me
right.
to go?
I'll light a torch.
Yeah, it's been enough time where I can light one of mine.
Yeah, it's been a few moments.
Yeah, I'll light one myself.
Right.
I'm going to, if they're all good to go,
Good to
I'm
go.
going to do like a brain check and consult my notes on Banelord abilities and whether or not, nullify as a spell will be good enough to rip down their illusions.
Sure. All right, I will work through each of you. Ray, you discover that this is just more cave the further away you go from the group.
I don't like that it's shaped like a stomach.
How much further do you want to go? There's a movement to the left, a passageway to the left.
So there's movement?
No, a passageway to the left. Sorry.
Passageway left. Okay. I will note it and return to main and tell the party.
All right. Meanwhile, Sidon, you get to discover the one area was just a gap, just a crevice. The other one has a door in it, which is, again, crudely made and reeking of dung. You suspect that dung may very well be the construction material that is used to keep stonework together within a goblin architectural oeuvre at the moment, or movement. But that is what you get, a stone door. Do you open it?
Yeah, I'll open it.
All right, you open it. Give me a defense check, if you please.
All right. Oop. Come back. No. If you can't hit the table, you can't hit me.
I believe it's if you can't hit the table, they can hit you. I think that's
Okay,
that's
damn it.
how
Yeah,
this
I
game
agree.
works.
Oh, no.
All right. Bop. Okay, that is bad fate. But I got 15 on the dice.
I was
and
just sitting here thinking, I don't ever get dark fate, and you're giving me a dark point? That's brilliant. I mean, I'm so sad.
You're welcome.
I'm so sad. Damn these creatures being able to actually do something.
Damn their eyes.
Damn their little eyes.
All right, and my defense is... Where's my defense?
Your defense is agility in this case.
Okay, so that's +4. So that is 15.
15. Unfortunately, it hits you, and it does something else as well. So as you push open the door, there are two dark elves standing there, and one of them has a bow drawn, which he releases the arrow immediately. It sails through the air, trailing this vaguely purple-like mist behind it, which embeds itself quite neatly into your chest. Oh, you take minimum damage, which is only 5 damage.
All right.
right,
My
however-
armor will absorb...
If your
Oh, sorry,
armor's-
okay, so
yeah, your armor
absorbs 3 because I've got leather armor.
Okay, remember it'll get another X.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep. I will
I
take
need
2
you-
damage.
Yes. Okay. Cool. Then I need you, please, to give me because you rolled a 1. Wow. I need you to please give me a difficulty. Give me a craft check. It's interesting.
Okay, that's a little bit more happy. So that is 16.
16 is a success. It burns like hell, this arrow in your chest, and this purple stuff sort of congeals around the wound, but that's all that it does.
All right.
Do you close the door?
No, I'll well, first of all I want to say does poison affect the undead?
Yes, it does, because you're a ghoul. So you're Ascension ghoul. You suspect that this poison was designed to attack the mind and spirit rather than the actual body.
Ooh, okay. All right. I'll kind of pick up the drippings of my arrow before just I'm gonna saunter in.
Okay. Whilst
And,
you're doing that, Iris,
yep.
you're listening at this door behind you. You're hearing, and then a sauntering. But at the same time, you are listening into the goblin chamber, and was she dumb? Was she dumb? Yep, she was. Behind the door, you are hearing someone going,
I have instructed you on what to do. You shall do this, or I will consume you.
We're in this. We're in shit now.
Okay, so I'm gonna stay at the door. I'm gonna turn and look at Iggy, and I'm going to point at the door and like, Bane.
And that is the moment. At that moment, Sidon is shot by an arrow. Ray has returned from the cave to the north, and we're in combat because someone did not close the door but sauntered forward.
I like it.
Ray, you guys, we're in combat. You have the action. What are you?
I nominate Sid because he is sauntering.
All right, so okay, so Sid,
I have to go check with Orient. I'll be right back.
All right.
So as Sid'll saunter in, and as he does, he says, "Now, is that how we say hello from where you're from? Listen, you've got two choices in front of you. I here am probably the most amiable of the fellas that are right behind me. Pack of lunatics they are, exploding people. Ugh, turned one of your kind into jam, he did. But I'm a little bit more reasonable. If you'll hear me out." And I'll just sort of pretend like I'm surrendering. Well, I will surrender, quote unquote, but what I'm actually going to do is as I sort of put my hands up, I'm going to keep them within retrieval distance of two knives I keep in my collar. And I will ready an action that if someone tries to shoot me, I'm going to throw a dagger in his face.
I need you to give me a deception insight check.
Ooh, I like that. Okay.
Deception using insight.
I'm gonna add one of my my light points to this.
All right. Do you have deception? Is the first question.
I do have deception.
All right. Then give me a deception using insight.
Okay. I gain that. Well, do I get the light point back immediately if I get a 6?
Yes, you do. You can't spend it again on the roll, but you do get it.
Yeah. So that is 6631.
Well, you drop the lowest, so you're dropping the 1.
Oh no, sorry. The 1 is my inside. So 663. That is 12, 15, 16. 16 total with 2 successes.
16 total with 2 successes. Okay, they don't think that you're preparing to attack them. There is a spiked barrier between you and them, of course. So you have said this to them. One of them, a female, sort of sizes you up. She can't do anything, however, because the rest of your party have to act first. And so, Ray, Iggy, or Iris, what are you doing? You're hearing Sidon talking to somebody.
So our reason for, like, raison d'etre for this is find evidence of a Bane Lord, report it. Or are we also
what's happening in the breach and find out if it's a Bane Lord. If it is a Bane Lord, your mandate's to destroy the Bane Lord.
Okay, so we're here to kill it.
Yeah.
And Iris just loudly said there's a Bane Lord behind
I didn't say
this.
loudly. I was miming it
She was loudly
Iris
miming.
loudly mimed there's a Bane Lord
Yes.
behind this door. Okay. I'm gonna head over to Iris.
Sauntering, sashaying,
Waddling.
waddling. Okay, you waddle over to Iris, and then, because that's a movement, you still have another action.
I'm going to, if Iris will allow it, kind of slightly interpose myself in front of Iris,
Sure.
just in case Bane Lord recognizes. And then knock on the door.
Is it safe to come out now?
Are you miming for me like that? We should just.
I'm
be
mentioning that
heading
Sidon
out?
has just been shot.
And is
I
talking.
didn't see that part.
What are you
So
doing?
I'll shout over his shoulder if I can, just like,
Sure.
there seems to be fighting going on. Stay in there, little one. Be safe.
Okay.
I'll turn back with my mace, kind of going, no.
I mean, I point at Sid.
I point at Sid.
I'm not saying anything like everything I said before. I'm saying loud or reasonably loud.
Yeah. There's lots of very loud miming going on as well, which is kind of drowning out your vocalizations. But yes, Iris, what are you doing? Sid has moved his actions and things down to the door and then to get confusing signals. What are you doing, Iris?
He's waiting to see if he can talk to them, so I'm going to hold an action. And if they're going to try to shoot him, I'm going to thunderbolt them again.
They are going to try and shoot him. Possibly. All right, so you're going to hold Thunderbolt. I'll allow it. Iggy?
This has gotten real bad, and I'm real scared. So I'm gonna go forward, and I'm gonna look over there and see. I'm like, oh, there's people about to shoot Sid again. And looks like
I noticed the Bane Lord conversation,
but there's a Bane Lord behind that door. Well, this is problematic.
I'm gonna prepare a barrier, and I'm gonna protect Sid because I don't want him to die.
Aww.
So if he gets they
You
look like
do
they're
care.
they look like they're about to go on the offensive on him. I'm going to protect him
Sure thing.
after she shoots.
After
After the lightning.
Yeah, that's a good one.
Simultaneously.
No, I want your lightning to get there first because you'll break my barrier actually. Well, you'll do damage to it.
Okay. Now the one looks at you, Sidon, and says, "Why have you come here?"
Well, to be honest, there was a small little girl wanting help, and we obliged as passing travelers. You know, kind and generous sort that we be.
You have the child. Leave.
Well, we do, but I also have this new token of yours. But, you know, perhaps I can convince my fellows to also take part in leaving. But I do have a quick one for you, if you would, of course, oblige.
The arrow gets pointed even closer at you.
Well, I suppose you don't want to know about the other drow that we found further up, but all right, if you insist, I'll turn and I'll start to walk away.
Iris, do you discharge Thunderwave?
Are they shooting him?
Nope.
Then no, they're not shooting him.
I'm
I'm hoping he'll close the door so we can focus on the problem at hand.
I'm hearing about the Bane Lord and stuff like that.
Yes.
I will walk out. Do they care at all that I mentioned the other deep elves?
Didn't seem to react very much.
Okay, I'll keep note of that. That's important. And I will close the door before going. Ugh,
Sure.
now I got to get a new shirt. I don't know why it has to be chef's white. Ugh. Ugh.
So I will whisper into Ray's ear. She has asked the goblins to do something she's told them to, or else she'll consume them. So we might want to let the goblins get out first. And then maybe we can cave this area in as well and trap her.
Do we have a ballista?
I don't have that kind of firepower. Although,
I could lightning bolt the walls, or Or if we have like oil and I could set them, like literally cause an explosion.
We should just deal
How
with the
about we go in and find out what's going on in there first?
All right, well, let's try to get the goblins out.
Let's bring them out here so we have room to move and not be stuck in a room we don't know how big it is and how many things are in it.
Yeah.
Okay. I follow directions. Move away.
You back
Everyone,
up.
yeah, move back from me.
I would like to go where that little alcove is,
Yeah.
so I can, like, over a bit, so I can use it as cover.
I'm going to discharge my barrier.
Yes.
And this time I'm going to block the exit.
The exit being
The way we came in from.
the passageway back that way. All right.
Oh, you're blocking our retreat.
I can let you guys through. No problem. It's everyone else that I'm worried about.
What color would you say your barrier is?
It's an azure blue.
Oh yeah, you're
It's
right.
an azure. Oh wow! I actually get it off and an extraordinary success. I don't know what happens when that happens when it comes to barrier.
It's the greatest barrier that ever existed.
It's the greatest barrier that I've ever done.
Looks really nice. It's a really nice barrier.
It sparkles.
It's like a party barrier.
It is. It's just. It is,
Disco.
It is phenomenal. All right, you get your barrier up and running, Ray.
I'm going to open the door.
Yeah.
Say, come on out now. You goblins first. I want to get you around this side so we can get everyone done the proper way.
All right. As the goblins, the little girl sort of skips past you, she looks up at you, Ray, and she kind of tries to take your hand in her hand. I'm so
Shiver.
excited.
All right. Time to.
I can undo the spell for that. Never mind.
But the goblins left first, right?
They haven't.
What do I
left
know
yet.
about the power of a Bane Lord as far as ability to kick my ass?
Bane Lords, from the readings that you guys did whilst on your 24-hour flash course on fighting Bane Lords, they come in various shapes and sizes. Sometimes they're quite weak and pathetic and rely on psychic attacks only and can turn a target to jelly. Sometimes they're giant hulking brutes that can literally rip your face off with their fingers. It really depends on the Bane Lord, and the advice given in the manual of the Tam Sarai is to always check first what type of Bane Lord you're fighting before engaging in combat with the Bane Lord.
How do we check?
The book is pretty vague on that one. It basically says just do better.
Do we
Yeah.
have a code word for nullify for illusions for Bane Lords? I'm assuming they're always in disguise.
Yeah, that's probably a good assumption.
I'm asking Ray, do we have one, or I can do that if you want, or if you want to hit him, that's all right.
Yeah, I'm going to pick this little girl up by the throat and slam her against the wall as hard as I can and bury my mace in the back of her head.
Yeah! Do it!
Sid, just like,
Murder!
how am I the bad one? What's going on here?
Okay.
I would like to point out that at no point in time is Sid ever letting any of you forget this.
I didn't.
That's okay.
I
I look forward to ignoring it in the future.
am
Please be a regular kid.
I
Please
am
be a
just
regular.
going to tell the audience right now, not my fault. All right, you pick this little girl up by the throat. She shrieks. We're in combat now because the goblins both see you.
Actually, no, I'm not going to bury my face. I'm going to hold her right at Iggy. For the
She's
knowledge.
like,
Oh, okay.
You're hurting me. I can't breathe.
Okay. I'm gonna. if
Oh,
you-
watch it be one of the goblins that was the Bane Lord.
I'm gonna nullify the area.
the smaller
so
goblin.
we'll see how it goes.
You're nullifying the area.
Oh, it's not a spell you attack a person with?
I'm gonna look it up real quick, but I can nullify a spell.
Yeah, I was trying to find
This
that
would change a
earlier.
lot of my actions if I knew he could just do it on the area. I wouldn't pick this kid up then.
Choke slam a child.
Well, you've never
Yeah.
fought a Bane Lord together.
It's
before.
124.
124.
124 spells. Or sorry,
Uh,
wait, is it 124? Yeah, there you go.
Okay.
Are you nullifying or dispellation?
Nullifying. I only have the basic one.
Okay.
I think I can tear down. Negative magical energy just stops someone from. Oh, okay, so maybe it might not work. Accessing a spell, but they forget one spell they know.
nullify.
I guess that's not exactly what I wanted
random
to.
spell they prepared. The spell does not affect spell controls.
So I guess it won't work. My bad.
Okay, yeah, Slammer, do it.
So you're just holding this little girl towards Iggy, and Iggy's like, "What's?"
I'm going to see if there's magic, I guess. I'm going to be like, is this magic? And that's as far as, this is as far as he's thought ahead.
I would like you to give me a psychic check.
Oh, I smashed it. I got a 6 on the Kismet and 2 5s.
Oh,
So
nice.
16 plus
Nice.
23.
You realize that this little girl is... You think she's being cyclically controlled.
The body's... Okay, so
I'm readying the
I say
mace.
the body's a girl.
Bring it
She's
down.
being psychically controlled, and I'm going to try to shut it down.
All right. How are you going to try and shut it down?
Can I psychic attack the psychic energy? So basically, I'm assuming it's like a tether, right?
Yeah.
Can I like just basically jump into the dark pool and be like, "Hi, what's up, there, giant shark? How are you?"
Sure you can. Let's
Yeah,
do
I-
that one.
We almost murdered a kid.
Well, good thing.
Hilarious.
Good thing that
I'm the one.
It's a good
I know,
thing
I was
that
about to say,
didn't
and you're
have
the one that's
spell
monster.
that I thought I had.
Yeah, that's my bad.
Oh, that legendary false equivalency argument comes roaring back up again. Hi,
The
Sid.
good news is,
Yeah, I know, right?
we checked to see we did good. We didn't actually kill her.
Look. You guys can keep throwing shit at me from the top of your paper mache high horse, okay?
Look, murder
It's
is
a
fine,
moose
just not
thing.
eating
good.
them.
I'm a northerner.
I never threw poop at you, Sid. I was just afraid of
I
you.
appreciate that, Iggy. I appreciate that.
I'm just very afraid of you.
I will eat you last. Actually, no. I've actually already added you to the recipe list. They're called
no.
Iggy Pops.
Oh my goodness.
Can I use a light fate?
You can. You know the light fate gets you to re-roll the die, right?
Yeah.
Just one.
Just
yeah?
one, and you got to keep that number. Yeah.
That's okay. So it gave me a great success if I do succeed. So that's good.
Okay.
And I burn that. And then, so now it is 8, 11 plus 7, plus 2. So 20, non-natural 20. I'm so used to saying that.
Dirty 20.
20, not
Okay. Yeah. All right. That's your psychic attack. You jump into the little girl's mind. You find this tether, which it looks like these long tentacles ethereally. So the whole world just breaks down into like these auras of psychic energy. And you can see these long dripping tentacles hanging from the girl's head, and they reach down to the old goblin, who is now staring directly at you, Iggy. And you have moved into this psychic space. You got an extraordinary success or a great success?
Just great.
Just a great success. All right, you can deal damage
Just a
to
great
this
one.
creature.
And I say, let her go. In my and I got a 6 on the dice, plus
we
7, so 13. 13 damage.
13
Seemed
damage.
like it.
Oh my goodness. All right, you blast this thing with 13 damage. Everybody else is just seeing Iggy concentrate really hard. The little girl is still struggling. So
Well, I point. I guess I would point and do that like whole like yeet, like that. Let her go pointing thing.
yeah, Iggy's sort of pointing at the two goblins. Iris, what are you doing?
I'm holding to see which, because I know that one of them's the Bane Lord.
Right.
So I'm holding my action. I'm going to ready a lightning bolt.
All right. You're reading a lightning bolt. Ray?
I'm going to go from holding the kid by the neck to full bear hug and run with her.
Towards Iggy's
Where are you
barrier?
going?
Yeah, towards the
swear.
barrier.
Bye, Ray.
I
I
swear.
don't know.
I
I'm
must
dropping the
be-
kid off on the way and coming back.
Okay.
Yeah, but if
I
she's
swear, I must completely zone out when it comes to like the team meetings that we have about this nonsense.
We have team
I am
meetings.
completely lost.
I guess I've
When did
never
we have a
invited.
team meeting?
I've never been
Yeah,
invited
it's right.
to one of those.
It's right. All right. All of a sudden, all right. Well, we're attacking a small child. Oh, cool. Bro, wait, Ray is running off with them. Okay. Yep. I just fed them.
What is Sidon doing?
7 damage to my barrier, by the way.
All right.
It's 7 damage
You know what?
as Ray charges through it.
I didn't
Yeah,
go through it. I was dropping the kid off.
The
I'm coming
barrier's
back.
where you ran
I wanted
through.
her out of immediate area.
So
I'm coming back to the
Are you
immediate
dropping
neighbor.
her off by Iggy then?
Because this is the barrier is right here at
Yeah.
at where they go.
Oh, there?
Yeah.
Did we have a symbol for that I could see so I don't
it's-
accidentally run a child through a barrier?
It doesn't hurt you. I can allow you through.
Yeah, but your barrier take damage.
But my barrier does take. It doesn't matter. But like that, you would know that my barrier. You can walk through my barrier.
It's
without
bright
any
blue.
harm. And it's bright blue, but you will do damage every time you walk through to it.
Okay, I'll
But
do
she's
the
still
damage, but
tethered
I'll-
to them, so
I'll
He
leave her
doesn't
on the
know
other side
that.
of the barrier, and
Yeah.
that's okay if it's away from us.
All right.
Okay. But didn't we
Sidon-
just confirm that she's possessed?
Well, none of you know any of this information.
he
Except-
yelled out,
um,
"She's
Yeah,
possessed."
that's all he said. Yes, she's
Yeah, that's all I got.
possessed.
All right.
Sidon, you've just seen Ray run through.
I'm just gonna say, Ray, where are you going?
I'm coming back. Hold on.
No, but I
Just
didn't
a
ask
minute.
when you're coming back. Ask where the heck are you going?
Minute.
Ray, don't you run away from me when I'm talking to you. All right.
I'm literally 20 feet away. Coming back. You don't have to get
I'm gonna
quiet.
look at I'm gonna look at the goblin and say, I don't suppose you know what's going on.
Has he noticed that one of them is having a staring contest with me, not lovingly, but you know.
Well,
And
the
bleeding
younger,
out of his nose.
the younger goblin runs forward and throws himself at your feet, Sidon, and he says,
Please, we had no choice. It arrived, but before you did, it forced us to. Everything had to be brought down here. I don't know why it's obsessed with showing the Dark Elves to everything that will come down here.
All right, where is it now?
I'll just yell at him, "Get behind me, young one."
The other goblin steps forward slightly, his eyes still transfixed on Iggy,
Lightning bolt.
looming over the little one, and you hit him with a lightning bolt. All right.
Lightning bolt.
He's just a normal goblin too.
I'm
right.
going
All three are
to
actually
use a
human
light
children in
fate.
disguise.
I'm going to use a light fate to
Oh boy.
do this.
Oh, wait a second. He's going to spend a dark fate then because he doesn't want to die.
Okay.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah.
10, 17. Lightning bolt. So I do hit my difficulty level threat.
The difficulty is his threat, and his threat is 20
Really great.
for this round. Yeah.
So it does not succeed.
It does not.
Oh wait, hang on. I have another dice.
Why do you have
I think you
another
just
I think-
dropped
yeah.
the lowest.
I dropped the lowest?
Yeah.
Oh. Okay, then yeah. Nope, it does not work.
And she takes the damage.
die? You take the damage.
I take the damage? No, I don't.
Yeah, you do.
I'm
if
not
you-
I'm
if
not
you
a
fail.
psychic. Psychic's different than me.
All right, sorry.
Yeah, but you're casting a spell against it.
Yeah.
So you fail to cast the spell.
Yeah, because
So
it's
you either have to spend
18.
Sure. You either need to spend another spell point to cast the spell, or you become strained, or you can take the damage.
What's strain do?
-2 to all spell casting until you sleep.
I'll just use an extra spell point then.
All right. Make sure you note that down.
Yep. I got it.
That is what you did. It now counterattacks, and it is going to counterattack young Iggy.
Wizard fight.
Wizard fight!
Wizard fight!
Unfortunately, it's nothing as dramatic as that. This is a psychic fight. So it is literally the two of them just standing there, staring at
Looking
each other,
constipated.
waiting until someone starts to leak. And that's usually kind of when the fight's over. So
We
you
start
need to
pointing
give
at
me-
each other.
you need to give me a defense check using brawn, I believe. Metal.
Metal?
Yes.
Matter?
Metal.
Or is it
Do we make
resolve?
canon that all psychic like duels have to be in the form of like a B-box battle?
Just Tron.
I'm gonna come back to you on that one. Roll your die anyway, and we'll see
Oh.
what you get to add.
You throw that at me.
Why are you throwing stuff at me?
I just gotta whip it.
No,
Whip it
don't
good.
touch my
Whip it
dice.
good.
You jinx them.
Yes, my
Oh.
evil wizard powers are going to destroy yours.
Weetonian. I didn't know that.
Yes.
He touches my dice and then they don't like me
slime.
anymore.
How does 17 do it for you? No, I'm just joking. I didn't roll it yet. Okay.
Hey!
It's not a kismet.
Oh, that's not good.
Okay, so 6, 9, I didn't do very well.
didn't do very well?
No. It's 14.
Ah. Yeah, 14's not so great. So you will 14. Okay. Unfortunately it hits you.
Is it resolve or metal? Sorry, it's metal for sure.
Metal, yeah.
Okay, then I am in trouble.
All right. Yes, you are. So, okay. Now it says here, failure. The target loses. Okay, cool. All right.
That's 11 plus your metal?
My metal's only 1. I thought it was resolve. My bad.
That's
For a psychic attack, I thought it would be 2.
It's okay.
bad. All right. You lose 5 life.
Permanently?
No, it just says 5 life. And I gain that much life.
Ouch.
Yeah.
He lives.
I don't feel so good.
Yeah.
Mr. Stark.
That is its action. Iggy just starts to tremble a little bit. The ball is back in your courts. Who's acting first? Sid, Iris, Iggy, Sidon.
So the Iggy and this goblin are just like focused
They're
on
just
each other, right?
standing there glaring at one another.
And Sid's gonna kind of. All right then.
Small.
I'm gonna move around behind the staring goblin.
Right.
On the way through, I want to, I want to pull out that really, really good chain,
Okay.
and I want to tie up this dude.
You can try to do this. The person
I'll,
doesn't seem to be like it doesn't appear that they are unaware of you.
Yeah, well, I mean, in my mind, like it'll either be like a distraction that might help Iggy. I don't know anything about
Sure.
psychic attacks or battles and stuff.
Yeah.
It might distract him, or he could just sit there and I can tie him up. In both cases, I'm going to
Melee attack.
yes, and I'm going to use a light fate point here.
Might as well. You guys rack them up.
Oh yes!
Mm.
All right, that is 17. Do I need to use my brawn?
For this melee attack? Yes.
Yeah. Okay, that's 20.
20.
With 2 successes.
Fantastic. 2 successes. So that is a great success. Yes, you do indeed do a great success. You can deal your full damage if you like.
I was just tying him up. I mean, I didn't necessarily want to do damage.
Take that as a given. You take out that chain and you wrap it around the figure's arms as it's sort of struggling and having difficulty and that sort of thing.
Yeah, kind of like a pot roast is I'm going to do with the lashings and... All
Right.
There we go.
Okay. You that gives me that's great. I guess. Sure. And Iggy, the moment that Sidon has tied up this creature, that assault just stops instantaneously. There's something that it can do against that.
Okay.
Anybody else acting? Iris?
Oh yeah,
Iggy,
I'd
or
like
Ray?
to act.
Yes, sir.
Ray,
What do
go
you
ahead.
do?
Drop the kid off with Orient.
Yes.
Take care of the kid. Sorry about the choking. Didn't know. And seeing that Sidon has essentially prepared me a meal, I'm going to run over and just baseball this little guy in the head with my mace.
But
Okay, make your melee attack.
that's as far as I get before
Yeah.
that thing gets a big squid.
Life fate point. I don't know if well, actually, I probably can't turn my webcam to show you because this room is messy. I got a 6,655. I have to drop a 5, which is the lowest.
Wow.
Nice.
Yikes.
That is plus
17.
my strength.
Your brawn, yeah.
Murder.
That'll be a 21.
That's definitely a hit, and you rolled 2 6s, so that's a great success. Deal your damage, full damage.
I get to roll damage, y'all.
Yep. Yep, you do.
That's great success too for actually melee attack. I've only been casting spells.
You just don't get hit by.
What do I add to my damage?
Whatever
Plus 5. There it
your...
is. Okay, sorry. I just was looking at the exact wrong part of the screen.
Right.
So that is a total of 10.
10 points. You slam into it. Iris or Iggy?
I'm just proud of myself. I'm going to sit here and be
I'm
proud of
going
myself
to-
for rolling a hit.
Try again with my lightning. Wait. What?
No.
You,
That's
Do you
all I
want to go
get.
first?
That's all what I get off. That's all I get off. Wait. As soon as he hits, then smack a lightning bolt.
Okay, so that was 6, 4, 7, 20.
that hits.
Yay!
Did you have a double or a triple?
No,
You gotta lose another spell point or
I'll take damage.
Spell point
What's
or
it?
take damage?
I'll take damage.
All right.
I
damage.
rolled max damage, so 1d6 plus craft is 14.
13.
14.
You have plus 8.
And plus 7. 6 plus 7 is 13.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I said 13. You said 14.
Uh,
I don't know math anymore.
It's
Tired.
okay. You deal
13.
damage.
And rolling a 6 causes the target to be stunned until the start of next turn.
Oh, sure. I mean, it's only been bound, gagged, and brained. But yes, now it's stunned, too. Not that really makes much difference.
Is it my turn now?
Yes. Yes, now it is. It is.
Wait, wow, that's really enthusiastic. We should probably ask it about the breach and what's going on there. This is probably linked to it. I think Sid was intending to question it, right, Sid?
Can't we question the goblin that asked it to do something?
I don't.
I quietly put down my kitchen knives. Yeah, questions. That's what I was doing.
Yes, Sidon, you realize
Never eaten a
that
Bane
the-
Lord before, but sure, let's ask it some questions.
The figure that you were holding down and that was struggling, it's no longer struggling.
You dead, lad?
Is it dead? It's stunned for the turn.
Sure.
Is it potentially stunned for the rest of all time?
Yes. Yes, it is.
Stunned.
Yeah!
I think there are very few monsters. I have to read up on the damage because maybe we're doing it wrong. I don't know. I can't find any monsters that have got more than 30 life. And since that's what you guys are dishing out in a single round of combat, it's going down real hard.
This is a baby Bane Lord.
Oh, how
basic
much
Bane
experience do I get for choking the small girl?
Yeah, yes.
-3.
Yes.
-3.
Yeah,
Fair.
you're going in a
I didn't
different
realize
direction
that the town guards had to take the Hippocratic oath when they signed up for the guards. Just whew.
Nonetheless, the chamber is quiet except for the little girl who's weeping and
It's not my fault. Blame her terrible charades.
the young
It's
goblin is looking around.
Yeah, that's right.
Let-
Blame
It
us,
was
Moshe.
so good though that you believe she was evil. So
Okay, let's focus on what we're trying. We're trying to deal with the Bane Lord. We might have choked some children on the way, but that's totally fine.
I look at the goblin like, what did it tell you to do?
Well,
I'm going to grab her like, I just fried.
no,
the Bane Lord.
I surrender. I won't do anything against you. Don't you?
Bait.
Good people, right? We're the good
What
people.
did it tell you to do?
The whole objective, it told us that we weren't allowed to leave this cave, and if you tried to take leave, we were to suggest the secret route, which would take you past the drow. The Dark Elves.
You mean that big door there?
No, there are many passageways down here. Many lead back to where the Dark Elves have invaded from. There was a chamber that we were to lead you to that overlooked a large area where the many of the Dark Elves are. They are where our village once used to be, but now it is no more.
Why would it want us to go there? We weren't aware it was even here until it started whimpering through the control of a child and brought us down here.
No. Unfortunately, we have done this a few times. A few travelers have been brought down here.
but none of them ever left, unfortunately. They were too loud or noisy to escape the Dark Elves once they are alerted of their presence.
It sounds like we're here to agitate the Dark Elves. Is that what you're saying?
The creature had equipment when it arrived. I can show you if you like.
Insight. Is it also still possessed? Is there 2 Banelords?
Oh my god, this is the next level. It's the child too. I always knew.
I'm going to do the sensible thing here, and I'm going to
11.
check for a pulse.
On the one that was brained, electrified, and gagged?
Yeah, that one.
It's not. There's nothing.
All right, good. Just checking.
Get your chain
14.
back. Get your chain back.
Yeah. Do you get your chain back? 14 insight?
It's going into a bag. I'm taking this for. It's a roadie.
All right. Wait, no, hang on a moment. So, Iris, you are trying
It's
to
a great
determine.
success.
Yes, he is not lying, unless he can urinate on command. In which case, because that's what he's currently doing. He is terrified.
Anybody can do that. I do that all the time.
You pee there. You're just like, hey, we can do that and pee. Sure, take us to the equipment.
So, Sidon, you're bagging this goblin corpse?
Yeah, basically. I want to dissect it in a different kind of way to see if it's any different to any goblin, and then if there's any essence of a Banelord, like, Banelord infused liver or something. I want to kind of...
I would think we could learn from its corpse.
Iggy, are you going along with Iris and the goblin?
I'm looking up, and I suspect I'm still seeing like the auras of stuff, like kind of like when you get a migraine, you see like the aura of light.
Sure.
And I'm trying to see if the old goblin was also possessed, but just in a greater degree, and how that possession would take place.
Okay, give me a psychic check. Using, I believe, wits this time.
Also, just to make sure Orient is with the girl, Ray's not going to go near her right now because he feels terrible.
Yeah, sure.
I gain a late point back.
Nice.
Rolled 6 on Kismet, and I rolled a total of non-natural dirty 20 again.
There you go.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. You suspect that the body that Sidon is busy tying up and examining, for lack of a better word.
Mm-hmm.
You suspect the entire thing was a magical construct, but the way that it died relatively quickly, either the Tamsarai manual was really lying, and Banelords are not the most terrifying things on Earth that should be handled with caution and in groups of at least 5, or this wasn't a true Banelord, but perhaps a servant or a minion of the Banelords.
That's okay. So what we're dealing with is a simulacrum of some sort. I'm pretty sure that the Banelord, and I'm aware that from what you described before, that Banelords have to be close.
Yes.
It's probably still here if it hasn't already fled, but that's a fake. A body that's been constructed magically. I don't know if we can track it, but that's probably this is just the beginning.
Is it sad? I'm glad that's not it, because I was really rather disappointed for something that's apparently so horrible. If that was it, that was sad.
Yeah. I was happy that it was easy to destroy, but I guess the enthusiasm overtook us, clearly, with the mace and the lightning bolt.
That's what I
Hmm.
Is
hear.
there a way that I can track the tentacle, the sloppy tentacle, as it were, and get a signature?
Unfortunately, the body's death has resulted in the connection being lost automatically.
Okay. And is there if I can't track it now, is there a way that I could use the simulacrum's construct, like basically the network of design, as a way to more easily identify things in the future?
You definitely would recognize the same presence. Definitely would recognize the same presence in the future.
Nice.
Okay.
Iris,
Alright.
the goblin has taken you down into the next chamber where there is a hole leading down, and the goblin says, "This is old. It is a poop chute." And then he hops around. You realize this is the source of the stench that has been permeating this entire place. There are some bits of armor that have been stolen from passing carriages and caravans, as well as a desk with some writings on it. He used to sit it there and write messages, which we had to take out to the ravens.
All right.
Nasty, horrid little ravens.
I'll go over to the desk.
All right. There are scratchings of notes and things, and it does look like someone was writing back reports. The way they're written, you cannot read what they actually say because it's written in a very strange script. But the oldest piece of paper, it looks like paper. It's this thin, slightly reddish toned paper. Do you pick it up?
Is it actually look like paper, or does it look like red skin that's been dried out?
Yeah, the closer you look, you realize it is actually skin that has been turned into vellum.
Ah! I will move the paper so I can read it. I'm not going to touch it. Like, I'm going to use like a dagger or an arrowhead and like shift the other thing so I can see it.
All right. As you are staring at it, the text transforms from a whatever it was into common, the language that you can read.
Okay.
And it simply says, "Draw attention to Gash's plan. Succeed, and I will elevate you within the city. Fail, and you need not return."
So draw attention to Gash's plan. Succeed. And I will elevate you in the city, right?
Correct.
I have a plan.
As in the city, not the breach. And fail. What did it say? Fail and
Need not return.
Need not return.
need. Okay. Is there a signature, like a acronym like M or
Looks like the text
yours?
continues on the back of the page.
I use the arrow and flip it.
Use an arrow and flip it over. All right.
Yeah.
Just made you look.
It continues, and it simply says, "Gash is attempting to induce the Dark Elves to perform some act. Look there first."
Gash is attempting to.
Induce.
The Dark Elves to some act. Look there first.
I think we write a fake message that says we need to meet.
And there's no signature on the bottom, like sincerely. Depois.
No.
Okay. I'm going to like open up my bag and like shift the papers into the bag with an arrow. I'm just like, oh, I don't know what Redskin is from, but I don't want to touch it. No.
It tastes really bad.
You what?
I licked it once.
Oh.
This show is brought to you by cannibalism. Anyway,
The letter of the day is C.
Cannibalism, the least violent thing that has happened in this show so far.
Yes.
At least when I eat things, they're already dead. No.
Meanwhile,
yeah.
Ray, Sidon, and Iggy, what are you guys doing?
Ray left. He went outside.
Ray left. He went outside. My apologies, I didn't hear that. I just thought you were feeling
Oh.
bad.
No, that was it. I hadn't updated. I was just waiting for the roleplay to finish so I could say it.
All right. Okay. So you've gone back to the pool.
I'll also point out that popping the eyes out of a corpse does not get to judge me morally.
Yes, I do. Of course I do. You've literally been on my case since I met you.
You're a literal serial killer.
Exactly
yeah.
what I get to do.
All right, so Ray has gone back to the pool.
We're such a
Iggy?
happy family.
Oh yeah.
I am. I don't think Iggy actually would think of this, so never mind. I'm just gonna be like, Ray, where are you going? And that's as far as I've gotten. But Mitch thinks that we should send a fake letter and try to see if we can catch somebody.
So I was thinking the same thing, have the goblins delivered by Raven, but I don't know the writing. We would need someone who would have some expertise in calligraphy. Do you have it? No. Oh. See, I was thinking it, but I don't have the writing.
Maybe the assassin does.
It is the skill called Decipher.
You know what? I might have that.
I do have that too.
Hang on. I just realized I have something with D in my skills. No, it's deception. No!
No, close.
Oh, I do have it! Let's do that! I'm so excited!
All right. You're gonna sit down and try and decipher this thing?
Yes. Actually, I'm gonna look at the goblins like, you said a few different adventurers and explorers came here. Where's their belongings?
He points around the room.
Nice. Can you collect all that? I'm going to get you somewhere safe and get you out of this hole by yourself. So why don't you just collect all the things? I'm going to be doing this, and I'm going to start working on the letters.
Sidon, what are you doing whilst these two are writing love letters to Bane Lords?
I'm
Dear my
going to be
darkest
doing...
love.
So, as an assassin, one of the things we used in order to communicate was Thieves' Cant, where we would draw symbols to represent different things.
Okay.
I know the drow are here, and I'm going to use the Thieves' Cant to mark this door as drows within, danger, before making my way into where Iris and Iggy happen to be.
Gotcha.
Looking around and seeing the adventurer's attire, and looking at the kind of shambled state of my my armor and
yes,
that, I want to try and use some of the bits and pieces to mend my tattered equipment.
Nice. So you do that. I broke the map.
You did. I saw it.
Yeah.
We all saw it.
Saw the
Everyone in the
carnage.
audience, put in the comment if you saw it.
Yeah.
I don't want to actually go in there because as I was saying, Mitch would think of something like that, but Iggy wouldn't.
Okay.
I think he would follow Ray out.
All right, you're following Ray out. Okay.
Yeah.
We will return next week when we find out what the message is that young Iris has written, and just what happens to the little girl who has followed Ray out to the pool anyway, because that's as far as you guys can get at the moment. And
Sure, just have to climb back up find a way back up that thing.
I would like to come out and see her on top, yeah, try to strangle you too.
Oh, Orient's the one who's holding her. Ray's gonna stay at least 30 feet from that child at all times.
Okay.
I love that you're like, I'm not gonna hurt you. No one's gonna hurt you.
Well, if someone had been better with their charades about she's the
I said there was a Bane Lord. I didn't say it was
maybe
her.
it's just me.
I just said there was a Bane Lord.
Look, maybe it's just me, but I'm getting some real Great Gatsby vibes from Ray, so I'm like,
Ray's
don't
got
worry.
a past.
I pet my puppy a bit too hard.
Oh my goodness.
He's not moving anymore. Make the little girl start talking again.
Oh
That
my
wasn't the Great
goodness.
Gatsby, but thanks. That's a
Oh yeah,
license.
spoilers
Get
if
it
you
right
haven't read The
you're
Great
gonna insult me.
Gatsby.
All right. Well, we will be back next week. Hopefully, we can bring this party together or something. I don't know. Maybe around a good meal, a vegan meal.
There's a friends that do things
make
together.
I'm saying cooking the goblin's not off the table.
Cooking the goblins on the table.
No.
I'm really hungry.
Look, I'm not.
He's been starving for a few weeks. He's not gonna have a lot of meat on the
That's
Guys.
true. That's true. That's
But
true.
kebab.
Until next week, thanks for watching, and from all of us to you, goodbye.